Welcome to Sacred and Profane. I realize we haven't been around for a while. We have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, but we've been around, just not in this realm. We're back in action.
Talking about the Emperor. So the Emperor in the tarot card deck is a little bit stern. It's like a departure from the Empress. Like the sensuality, the lusciousness of Mother Earth and the Empress. The Emperor takes kind of a stern departure, wouldn't you say?
Well, stern has a certain flavor that goes with that. I would say that embodied is the masculine in the best form, too. So structure.
Yeah, a lot of structure.
Structure. So with the Empress, we have that fluidity, that the growth and creativity and giving, and then with the Emperor, it is really the realm of creating society and organization. So really these are the two primal energies of the feminine and masculine. Feminine being that of the Empress and the Emperor being that of the masculine. We have both within us. So
yeah, I mean, when I talk about Shiva and Shakti all the time in my yoga classes, and you know, Shiva is the container, the divine masculine is the container, it's the structure, it's the ability to stay completely focused and steady, where Shakti just moves and creates and goes in every certain way.
Totally.
Goes outside of the box.
Yeah.
So I love what you're saying, because that's like that divine masculine, that container.
And so like for...
Let's look at the card.
Okay.
You do it.
Here we have the Emperor. Why are they all white?
I know, for fuck's sake. Where's our black emperors?
Oh, they're out there.
They are.
So...
Not in the tarot deck. We need to make our own deck.
We do need to make our own deck. Are you good at Illustrator?
No.
Neither. Anyone out there? Good. So the one in the middle is interesting. He's holding an Ankh, which is an Egyptian symbol with the loop. It's the cross with the loop. And what this symbolizes is both the verticality, so our spine, and that's the masculine. And then there's this loop around that is connecting our horizontal or our heart consciousness. And it's interesting, he has his grip on the Ankh, like this containing of that, the marriage between the masculine and feminine. And so like, how do we bring this into real life, right? Like, how does the Emperor show up for us? And for me, it's when I need to get shit done, when I need to do taxes, when I need to do accounting for my Soma business, when I'm needing to plan out for the week or for retreats or coming up with the structure of my day, that's Emperor energy. And when I don't have it, then I can start to feel scattered and too...
like your energy could go here and there because it's so exciting and so beautiful. I could create this and that and the other.
Exactly.
Where's the container?
Right. And so that's the beauty of the Emperor. That's the light side, is that it can help anchor the energy, the consciousness of what you're wanting to do and create.
And I think the shadow of the Emperor is that sternness and rigidity.
Yeah.
So there's a great story that I tell often in class about Shiva and how there were all these monks that were practicing in the forest, and they practiced in the same way every day at the same time. And a couple things happened. Like, the first thing that happened is that they were steeped in their practice, and they got a lot of benefit for being really steeped in this rich sadhana, this rich practice. But the other thing that happened is that everything dried up. It got rigid, and there was no more lust and love for the moment. There was no more juiciness of the moment.
Yeah.
And so in this story, Shiva goes out dressed as a sexy beggar, like so alluring and so sexy. If you could think of like a person you might see at Burning Man. He's wearing next to nothing. In fact, Shiva's probably the original Burning Man. And he's got these long dreads, and he's got this little loincloth, and, he's hot. He's super hot. And then he convinces his good buddy Vishnu to come along on this quest with him. And Vishnu disguises himself as this really sexy woman named Mohini, and she's just voluptuous and alluring. And the two go strutting off into the forest. And when the monks see them, they get pissed because they have all this desire and this arousal that gets awakened, and they're not used to that because they're rigid and they're structured, and they think that desire is something that should be suppressed. And so they don't even see Shiva, the very deity that they're dedicating all their practices to. They don't see him for who he is. And so they get mad and they start to hurl things at him. And the first thing they hurl at him is snakes. And Shiva catches the snakes and intertwines them around his neck and really just looks more sexy and more alluring. And then the second thing that they hurl at him is a tiger. And it's said that Shiva goes, no problem, and takes his pinky nail and swoops around the tiger, skins it, and puts the tiger skin on as his loincloth and looks, even more sexy. And they're like, this guy has to be stopped. So they hurl a demon at Shiva. And this is important. Shiva takes the demon. He doesn't slay it. He could instantly, but he instead places it in the underbelly of his foot, the soft, vulnerable part of his foot, and he breaks out into the Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss, the most alluring, sexy embodiment of this form that you can imagine. And of course the monks bow to him and they're like, Shiva, 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 we didn't know it was you, Shiva, 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 forgive us. And he's like, oh no, don't bow down, come up and dance with me. And so when we get too rigid, too much emperor energy, we forget the absolute juice of the moment, the newness of the moment, and that can be our shadow. It's good to have structure, but not rigidity.
Mohini. It's like, I love that story.
It's a good story.
If you have heard of Ellen Watts, in another very simplistic way, it's like there's the prickles and there's the goo. Prickles would be the emperor, goo would be the empress. And you can't be too prickly or too gooey to really to move through this world. And there isn't just one or the other. You can be prickly goo or gooey prickles. So,
but embody both.
Embody both.
Get shit done.
Get shit done with joy.
Yeah, right?
How can you bring the magic into the mundane?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes.
So with the structure of what can be in your day-to-day, daily life of what creates that routine, how do you juice it up?
And not become rote.
Yeah. Let us know.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.